Hello everyone, hope you're all doing great. So I'm Saranya and in this video we are going to solve another easy LeetCode problem. So let me share my screen. Okay, so the problem number is 3570. Find books with no available copies. This is an easy problem. So we have two tables. One is the library underscore books. One is the borrowing underscore records. So in library underscore books, we have the book ID, title, author, genre, publication year and total copies. Okay, so they are telling that book underscore ID is the unique identifier for this table, which means this particular column will not have any duplicate values. Then each row contains information about a book in the library, including the total number of copies owned by the library. So this total underscore copies tells you that how many copies are owned by the library. Then you have one more table called borrowing underscore records. Okay, so this particular column will have record ID, book ID, borrower name, borrow date, return date, which here record underscore ID is the unique identifier for this table, which means that this particular column also will not have any duplicates. Each row represents a borrowing transaction. Okay, so and return date is null if the book is currently borrowed and hasn't been returned yet. If the book is still with the person, it means that the status will show as null because he still did not return the book. Okay, so now write a solution to find all the books that are currently borrowed, not returned, and have 0 copies available in the library. Okay, so a book is considered currently borrowed if there exists a borrowing record with null return date. Return the result table ordered by current borrowers in descending order, then by book title in ascending order. Okay, so the question is clear. I'll explain you simply using this table. So in the library underscore books table, you have all of these records. Okay, so in the borrowing underscore records table, you have all of these records. So now what they are telling, if you take the book ID 1, how many copies are present? 3 copies are present. Okay, so now how many people has taken this and not returned? That you have to see by checking this nulls. So for book ID 1, null, so 1. Again for book ID 1, null, so 2. Again for book ID 1, one more null is there, which means 3. So 3 copies are available, but 3 copies are with different people. So 3 copies are available and all the 3 copies are with the borrowers, which means in the library currently they have 0 copies of this book. So that is the reason why we have this here. Let's take another example for book ID 2. Okay, so the total copies are 3. So here 1 is already returned. Then here this is null, which means out of 3 copies, 2 are only with the borrowers. 1 is already in the library. So we are not including that. Let's take book ID 3. It only has 1 copy. So book ID 3 is showing as null, which means in library the number of copies are 0. That's the reason why this is coming here. You can see that in the explanation also the same details they have given. Okay, so before writing the code, I want you to understand how we are going to approach this problem. Okay, so first thing what I will do, wherever the return date is null, I'll put it as 1. Wherever the return date is present, there I'll give it as 0. In that way, I can do a sum later and see how many books are with the borrowers. Okay, that I will put inside a CTE with CTE as select book underscore ID, comma, I'll put a case statement. Case when return underscore date is null, then you put 1, else you put 0, end as book with borrower. Which means that whenever the return date is null, then give 1, else give 0 and end this column name as book with borrowers. From which table? Borrowing underscore records table. Okay, so now let us see what is inside this CTE. Select star from CTE and a semicolon. Okay, so if I run this, I will see book ID 1, it is showing null and null, which means 1 and 1. The return date is present, so it is giving 0. Again, we have null and null, it is giving 1 and 1. So if I take a sum of this column, then I will understand that how many books are with the borrower. So before this case statement, I'll put a sum, bracket open. After the end, I will put bracket, and this particular column we call it as book with borrower. And since we are putting an aggregate function sum, we need to do a group by. Group by which column? The same book underscore ID column we have to do a group by. Now let us run this. So we are saying book ID 1 is with 3 borrowers, which is correct. 1 is with this person, and this person. Okay, so this is coming as correctly. Now what we should do, we have to take this table, library underscore books table, and from that total copies, you have to subtract this 3. So 3 minus 3 will give you 0. That is the reason why this book is present here. Okay, then you have for book ID 2, for book ID 2, you have 3 copies, and here book ID 2 copies are present. So 3 minus 2 is 1. So this will not come as output. For book ID 3, you only have 1 copy. Here also you have 1 copy. So 1 minus 1 is 0. It is coming here. Okay. So now what we will do, instead of select star from CTE, we will take these columns. Okay. So whatever is given in the output, one is the book underscore ID, then the title column, author, genre, publication year, and then you have the current borrowers. So for current borrowers, what we are doing, we are taking book with borrowers column. Okay, so here it will be book underscore with underscore borrowers, okay, as current underscore borrower. Okay, from which table you are taking all of these details from library underscore books table. Okay, and you are trying to join the CTE on what condition? Library books, you have book ID, and in the CTE also you have book underscore ID. So instead of this big name, we'll give it as L and we'll give it as C. Okay, so L dot book underscore ID equal to C dot book underscore ID. So now before we run this, we have this book ID column which is ambiguous. Here it is present, here also it is present. So SQL will throw an error. That is why I'm putting it as L dot book underscore ID. And you have one more where condition. Let me show this first. Okay, if you see here in the output, you have the current borrower has current borrower 3, 2, 1, 1, 0 and 1. Okay, but in the where condition, what we should do, where this particular table, you have the total underscore copies, right? So take this total underscore copies minus book with borrower. Okay, if you do this one, you have to get 0. Only those cases we have to take. So run this. So right now you are getting the final output. Here the column name should be current underscore borrowers. Okay, and also they are asking us to give some ascending and descending order. Okay, so return the table ordered by current borrowers in descending order. Okay, so current borrowers will be ordered by current borrowers, which is the book with borrower column. This should be in a descending order, and also then by book title in ascending order. So title in ascending order. Okay, so let's run this. Okay, this got accepted and submit. Yeah, so this is submitted. Yeah, so that's it for this video. And if you have any questions, please do let me know in the comment section, and thanks for watching. Bye.